um, drain less fast.
So
Oh,
what's going
poo.
on with your eyes and your nose now, right now?
I'm itchy in my nose. Um, it feels irritated, like I'm going to sneeze all the time. My eyes are okay. Feel a little bit dry. Um, I just have a.
All right, it's 10:42. By 11:42, you will be healed. Ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. If you want to see how enlightened you are, go visit your family. So what happens with family and the world is that all of the deepest seated stuff becomes activated, and then we become animated as if force and action is going to create some type of internal healing, because it's almost a pact. Family, countries, worlds, it's like an agreement. We're going to bond together to kind of lay down our law and establish our family unit, establish our field, our specialness. But actually, life is the opposite of that. Life is, I'm going to surrender to the inherent divinity inside of each individual. I'm going to experience the crown of human achievement, which is servanthood. I'm going to trust and use discernment rather than judgment. So the only relationship that's successful, whether it's between family members or spouses or children, whatever, cats, is the relationship that is based on a third cause. Relationship is based on a purpose, not a purpose to make ourselves special and to make more money and to get educated. That's after, that's the cart in back of the horse. The horse itself is enlightenment, uh, wise people. So the mind is going to be tricked away from the inner journey at every turn, especially if it's hot, especially if there's dynamics going on. And you just tricked, big giant trick. So you don't get the universal cookie. You don't get the energy. So you can't move magnetism to facilitate your own biological coherence and epigenetic influence and neuroplastic change and emotional hygiene and maturation. You have no inner world. You're devoid of an inner world, empty shell, soulless. When there's external orientation, there's no external solutions for personal problems. So just notice what in life grabs you by the nose like a ring through the bull's nose and pulls you, and you don't even have your own nose anymore. In other words, you don't have the face shining inward. You don't realize inner looking, inner listening, inner smelling. Where's the kingdom of heaven according to Jesus?
Than us.
So you have to play a game with people like me, get what you need, and work it. Or press play on Padre Pio. Or go to the horse farm. Or take 10 seconds and adjust your stance when you're washing your dishes. Every sage and saint, which is the highest order of intelligence, they all have these times of frequently going into inner synchronicity. I say to Lena so many times, I don't know how she has the tolerance. If you ever come here, you'll see what a torture it is and what you really have to sacrifice to learn from me. I say to her so much, you can't imagine. Go like this, go like this, go like this, go like this. Like 200 times a day, every single day. 200? Because people go into their heads, they don't breathe. And I do it enough. I don't need any help from anybody else. So if you can return your awareness to your own nose, to your own eyes, to your own brain, to your own ears, you can find out where life is being experienced within you. It doesn't matter what nationality you are, what gender you are, where you come from, what your circumstance is, what you did wrong, if you're good enough or not. Love is not based on that. There's no such thing as karma if you're transcendent. Actions are like writing on water, they disappear immediately. So you could do good, you could do bad. There's not that boomerang effect that everybody lives it with in the sea of psychic magnetism. So grace encourages you to do right, but grace is non-cognitive and it abolishes karma. It absolves sin. If you don't have any sin, or you can't have that conversation because mommy and daddy and sister brother can't have this conversation, and then you have to not do it because if you think with your mind, who's going to listen to this, then you're just not that smart. You have to decide for yourself what your path is, where you're going. It's very simple. I'm going to improve brainwave coherence. I'm going to improve great access to the water, to a moment that is meditative, rejuvenating. I'm going to pursue the inner kingdom more than the outer kingdom because when I die, that's all I'm going to take with me. It's who you are in your deathbed that determines what success you had in life. And if you don't know stuff like that, then you're just like a baby that didn't smile. So why don't you realize that you're a baby that didn't smile, smile once and enter life? Because there's a dynamic field of energy going on in life, and it's all trying to heal you if you could just be receptive. Every single individual is in pursuit of a piece of cheese as a way to ameliorate their emotional circumstance. That doesn't work. So you have to choose for yourself what you're going to do right now. You're not going to do it right all the time, but you could choose right now. So you get better at splitting time. The master's skill, the great Olympian, the great mom, before you give the peanut butter sandwich, there's this inward direction, centering, stillness. And then something happens or a new set of people or a new set of circumstance. And now all of a sudden you're going to be pulled about by your nose in every moment because you can't stop. All of a sudden you're at the beck and call of somebody else's will for your life. That's the human psyche. The human psyche is not that intelligent. So you got to choose for yourself. The sun and the rain and the moon and the stars, it doesn't ask you whether you're good or evil, whether you're good enough, whether you're thin enough. It doesn't ask you that. It gives you the rain to grow the food, to eat, to be alive. So grace is more important than law. The inner world is more important than the outer world. The discernment that happens of your behavior with actions and consequences should lead you rather, to depend on being a conduit of life rather than a subject object strategist to take over by staying frenetically active in your own mind and following everybody else's will because somehow they know what they're doing. The only person that knows what they're doing is a sage or a saint, period. Everybody else, you can dismiss it. It's not that valuable. You can be nice, you can communicate and be their friend, whatever. You can give respect and honor where it's due, but you don't follow people, ordinary people. They don't have intelligence. So why would you ever do that? You could choose whichever you want to do, you know. It's nothing to me. I mean, in the sense of I have to choose whatever I'm going to do too. But what I'm going to choose to do today is to slow down, stop, and reverse the search at all costs. Because when I die, I want to understand stuff about life. And there's a mystery functioning behind the scenes of environment. To me, that's important. Your brain is formed in a way that everything else is important but that. And it's wrong. You've been tricked. Everybody's been tricked that way. It's only because, insect, animal, human, divine, demonic, angelic, atmic, there's an evolutionary scale. There's a order of ascending and descending intelligence. There is where do you fit in the food chain? So by trying to be egotistically, narcissistically the one that knows or the one that's in control or the one that follows blindly and not really at least give mental assent to real wisdom, you rob yourself of evolution and happiness, hormonal nectar, because coherence is the luck factor in life and you can't get it any other way. So you got to have these talks. Bible says faith comes by hearing, hearing by the word of God. You got to get it 15 different ways, do 3 tens a day, 1 5 a day, 1 long routine a week. Be in the university with the professors and the testing. And in the cloister of the University of Enlightenment, you don't have to worry about anything. You're not going to get it right, so forget that. But you're in the university. You don't have to worry. You're in the cloister. It's different than the world. You're not in the world. Now, you can identify with everybody and have respect for everybody, more so when you come home to a nourishing location, like if you live in the University of Enlightenment. If you live on those grounds and the security protects you and so forth. But that's all in your own mind. Doesn't matter where you are or who's around you. All right, do a breath and tell me if anything's changed, because it's 10:53. I'm a minute late.
I feel calmer, but I'm draining. It's not as itchy. I'm just draining a lot of mucus.
I failed. Maybe after that blow, we'll get some.
Yeah.
Let's see. Go like this, go like this, go like this. Nothing. Oh, well, failed again.
No, feels a little better. Definitely not as itchy.